Son of the day, Serge Luton's Don Le Bleu in the sparkling blue. I wouldn't even know how to pronounce that name, so I'm not even gonna try. Anyways, what's up, man? How's it going? How's your week? My week's been great. And today, it's been one heck of a wonderful day. All right. I do have some samples to talk about. I will talk about my personal fragrance that I have. And I have another sample here that I got sent to me by Sensual Obsessions. And I have a few other fragrances sitting out in front of me that I forgot I even had for the longest time. And I will do a recap on Pleasure Over Business by Zaharoff and TLTG Reviews, but without further ado, welcome to my live stream. I guess I'm gonna start off with my own personal fragrance. So, for the longest time, I've wanted my own unique kind of fragrance. And I only came up with it a year ago in my imagination. And then eventually I saw you could have custom fragrances done by Sensual Obsessions. So I put that into motion. And I gotta say, my very first custom fragrance, it Kevin at Sensual Obsessions brought it to life, and it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. But this one really and truly only represents my journey, growth, creativity, and who I became through fragrance. And this one, I get the best performance of my own fragrance. I'm enjoying how it's transitioning and changing through the maceration phase. And this one is built around exotic fruits, florals, tea, smoky woods, and frankincense. And it opens up with this beautiful bergamot, ginger, pink pepper, and this beautiful Jamaican plum. It's very ripened, juicy. Of course, there's some guava in the background. And then the top notes just last for a good 15 to 20 minutes before the heart even decides to pop in. And then I got this beautiful green tea accord, neroli, white jasmine, rose, and elemi. And the base, you got frankincense, teak wood, vetiver, oak moss, smoked wood, ambroxan, and white musk. And for my own personal fragrance, I get about 10 hours on skin, and it's doing exactly what I wanted to do. And eventually, I will have my second fragrance. Now, the only thing I, put together, I came up with my own notes, the own percentages, the overall scent structure myself, and the only other thing, Sensual Obsessions did the perfuming. I do have another personal fragrance coming out eventually sometime in July, and that one is based around tropical luxury after sunset. Think of nightlife, bad decisions, temptations, ocean air, rum cocktails, and summer energy. And I think my second one is something I would describe uh, avant-garde level far as perfumery goes. But other than that, I've always wanted my own personal custom scent. And the best part is it's super unique and it's not similar to anything out there. And that is what makes this special. So, what are you rocking? Ooh, good choice, Ven. What? Signature Citrine. That's a beautiful fragrance. I wore that yesterday. That was a good one. Citrus forward, some jasmine, and all that good stuff. And Joel, you're waiting for payday. Hmm. Well, what are you rocking? Hypnotizing fire. Never heard of it. Where are you going live? Why are you even going live? You sick. So are you. It's my channel. I can go live whenever I want. Bum. Hypnotizing fire. That's a cool name. So, well, I did come across a wonderful sale at Vivamore Parfums. I ended up pulling the trigger on I was kidding, just wanted to test your patience. Yeah. Oh, okay. The Harmonist, a rose fragrance. I think I seen a not so famous YouTuber talk about that. That sounds good though. And that's another brand I never check out either. Um, Speaking of my buddy, I do have a friend who's sending me a bunch of free decants to check out from uh City Rhythm, Aaron Terrence Hughes. So I can't wait to get my nose onto that. And a little more about my fragrance called Scented Paradise, even though the name appears backwards. This one, the way it opens, immediately you detect the refreshing tea accord and it wraps itself around the top notes. And it really makes the rose and jasmine very jammy. And that's what I really enjoy this about. It's just different than anything I've ever got my nose on, and that's why I like this scent so much. Doing it during a week, missing one, should get here this week, bro. Okay. Aroma de Carlos. Good name, bro. Stick to that one. So, I think what Imma do with my personal fragrance is I'm gonna hook up my brother with a decant and get it out to him so he can enjoy this. And I think there's one other person I want to send a decant to so they can at least explore and experience how good my fragrance is. And I gotta say, shout out to Kevin at Sensual Obsessions. He knows what the heck he's doing when it comes to perfuming. And the only other fragrances I really did purchase and got is the newest Zaharoff 1.5 Pleasure Over Business with TLTG reviews. And I did pull the trigger and I got the new one, Zaharoff Gusto Limone. So, with that being said, I can't wait for that one to come in and this new one from Vivamore Parfums. They actually had a sale going on their actual website, and the brand new release that came out this year, I couldn't believe how much it was. It was like $57. So I can't wait for that one to come in, and I'm certain it's overseas. However, $57 for a what, 200 some dollar fragrance? That's a steal. You can't go wrong. I had Confirmation from a good friend of mine. It's good, great, it's strong and potent. So I had to blind buy it. And I think it's called uh of the now or on the now. Either way, it's got two of my favorite notes in it, so I can't wait to check it out. And let's get right into checking some of these samples that I have from Gallagher Fragrance. And since it's the 31st, I can talk about the newest release from Gallagher Fragrance. What up, SB? Son of the day. Hey, what's up, man? We got Emerald Rendezvous by Gallagher Fragrance. Now, the name will probably appear backwards, but that just happens. Can't fix that. But I am curious to see how this one smells. And it's got a couple of my favorite notes in here: bergamot, grapefruit, musk, and it's got something else that's new and I never smelled before. So let's see what this one has to offer. Get a couple of sprays here. Now, this one is an extrait de parfum for their pearlescent line. Hmm, okay. Very minty, but fresh. Very fresh, refreshing, minty. It's like a realistic spearmint from the leaf itself, and you got some warmth behind it. Patchouli is what's making it warm. This is what I like here. In the opening, I get spearmint, bergamot, grapefruit, orange blossom, and some orange, patchouli. And there's something else in there that's interesting. I'm getting like this coastal accord, something different that has like a zesty tone to it. Imagine an aquatic note that has some zest to it. And it's kind of sugary, pink sugar. Not too many people use that. But overall, first impressions, this definitely is lives up to its name. Emerald Rendezvous. It's like I'm sitting out on the coast, maybe on a boat or in the sand having a cocktail or sitting sipping on something strong. But this is good, different, unique. Hmm, I might add this to my wardrobe. I'm liking the direction this one is going. That is good. How many of you guys are familiar with Gallagher Fragrance? Let me just ask that. Eight and Bob. That sounds good. Eight and Bob's pretty good. I think I smelled Egypt before. That was pretty decent. Is it straight unisex? This one here, I could see men and women rocking this. I would say 50-50, but they do have some masculine stuff. Yeah, um, the only one full bottle that I have by Gallagher is Amongst Waves so far, but I have gotten my nose on plenty of their stuff. Purple Powder, I enjoyed. Behold Patchouli, Resin Wood, Cadence, Rose Noir, Rosie All Day. September was pretty good. They got a whole bunch. Purple powder, that one's definitely unique and, like, totally different, and it has so many ingredients to it. You know, with the patchouli here and how everything comes together with Emerald Rendezvous, it does feel slightly more on the masculine side only because of the way the patchouli is developing on my skin. However, I would say it's safe for women or men to wear it. It's good, definitely. Um, Sadly, Oh Hello is discontinued, but I was curious to see what this one smells like since you can no longer buy it. Yeah, I got into Gallagher fragrance a while ago. I bought their um winter and fall discovery set, and there's so much I like from that house. Currently, my full bottle that I own is Amongst Waves, and I really enjoy that one. Hmm, this one's different. Get another couple sprays. Gotta go already. Enjoy, Joel. You really get the basil here, and something else is in here. It's very green in the opening, slightly floral. There's something else in here. I don't know what it is, but no, I'm not talking about Sedley at all. And this one is different. This is Oh Hello by Gallagher Fragrance. I get like this green, earthy tone. Then what? I'm talking about Gallagher Fragrances. That's what I have out in front of me right now. I'm not too crazy for a lot of Parfum de Marly fragrances. Nothing against them. And the only one that I really enjoy by Parfums de Marly is Cologne. The rest, eh, not really my thing. No offense. I'm just not big. But anyways, back to Oh Hello by Gallagher Fragrance. I get this really nice basil, something bigger raid, but you got this beautiful violet leaf, orange, orange blossom, and a different type of wood. I want to say velvet wood. This is good. And patchouli, the patchouli is quite earthy, and you kind of do pick it up quite early. That's good. Kind of feels outdoorsy, like walking around through a field. This is definitely masculine, that's for sure. I wish I could get my hands on a full bottle. Hello, greetings from Morocco. Nice. This one's different. You really get the basil and violet. I get the basil, violet, and patchouli the most from here. I'm not really getting the orange blossom as much. I think it's getting overpowered by this accord that is in the opening. Whatever I'm smelling, though, that is behind this basil is good. I'm gonna have to look up this note. I have no idea what it is, but it smells good. I am talking about Gallagher Fragrance. Oh, hello. Unfortunately, it's discontinued, and I wish I could get a full bottle. I like this. This is this is different than anything else I have in my wardrobe. Definitely worth wearing. This one I could see being a year-round scent. Definitely masculine. Shepherd. Hmm. And last but not least, the other one. A buddy of mine's familiar with this one, and it's called Mists of Time. I like the name of it, Mists of Time. See what this one has to offer. Wow. Oh, man. Wow, wow, wow. Phew. Man, if you're a fan of orange and you like candied oranges, this is for you. Oh, man. That is juicy. And the best part of Mist of Time that I'm liking here, it doesn't smell like orange cleaner. For once, orange is done right. Man, is this good. Candied orange, mandarin. That's all I'm getting right now. We're going to let that one dry down and see where it goes. But that is a good one. It's like literally candied orange, but it doesn't, give you that orange cleaner scent. Very sweet, sugary. It kind of reminds me of, without the tanginess, it kind of makes me think of Tang, that juice, Tang orange juice, because it's very sweet. I don't find it to be syrupy or any of that. Quick what question while waiting for the dry down? Not the dry down, but Imma let that develop and marinate. Quick question while waiting for the dry down. What's your question? This is good. Got black currant, candied orange, mandarin. It's kinda smoky as well. What is the best ultra male cologne? Everyone says 9 PM, but it has apple instead of pear. Well, 9 PM honestly is the best one out there. And I haven't really came across any other ultra male clone other than off non 9 PM. Best performance, projection, and longevity. Sadly, I don't wear it anymore because I'm not really crazy for that scent profile. I don't know. I guess I could say I kind of outgrew some of them JPG flankers. Afternoon swim dupe? I couldn't help you there. And I'm not really a fan of afternoon swim either. I think that's Louis Vuitton's most shittiest fragrance. Louis Vuitton afternoon swim. Now that smells like orange cleaner. You're at that point, you might as well wear pledge. And I think it lasts what, 30 minutes on skin? Waste of money. But I wouldn't be able to help you there. And I'll be honest, I'm not really crazy for dupes all that much anymore. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. Nothing against them. I prefer the originals. On a winter day, only 45 minutes? I believe it. I have maybe 5 testers of afternoon swim. I forgot I even had them, and I tested them. And you're right, I got about 30 minutes on skin. So, is it worth spending $378 on afternoon swim? No, not that one. No, absolutely not. And since I've got my nose on that one, I wouldn't even buy a dupe of it. And no, the most shittiest Louis Vuitton based, yeah, afternoon swim. It's the shittiest one I got my nose on. And I like Louis Vuitton. I own 7 of them. Leighton and Altair PDM. You're stuck between those 2. I never got my nose on Altair. Well, yeah, in the store at Saks before Saks went out of business. I didn't care for that because I'm not a huge fan of vanilla, but Leighton, I would go with Leighton. But um there's only maybe 2 other PDMs, Parfum de Marly's I do like, but I'm not gonna jump on buying any Parfums de Marly right now. But Leighton Exclusive is more my scent profile. It's more on the mature side. It's got coffee and it's got Laotian oud. That one I find more interesting over the original Leighton. I feel like the original Leighton is played out. Nothing against it. Sedley, it's okay, but I already have enough fresh fragrances as it is, kind of similar to that DNA. I don't need to add another one. And currently, the only one I really enjoy by Parfums de Marly is Cologne. It's my favorite one. Liquid Brune, the original, I had it. I didn't like it. I gave it away. I would take Altair over Liquid Brune any day. That's just my personal opinion. For over 15 years, my top is follows: Curve, Wave, Old Formula, good one. Frosted Bottle, made in Canada version. Aventus, good one. Oh, Acqua di Gio Essenza, nice. Bentley Silver Lake, Mimic. Mm. Afternoon Swim, eh. Tobacco 28, now that's a good one there. Afternoon Swim, sadly, I just don't care for it. Oh, okay, so, did they reformulate it? Maybe that's why it doesn't last. And yeah, it is almost the same, but let me break it down like this. When I started content, yeah, I was chasing all these dupes. But once I started getting the originals, I prefer higher quality perfume oil. And yeah, I got a lot of them through discount websites where I wasn't paying an arm and a leg, but I saved up for what I wanted. And now it's like, you know, I don't need any of these dupes when I own the originals, and I like what I like. Now, if you're in the clones, hey, it's cool. I'm not gonna buy every clone that comes out. Just, not doing it. It's not my thing. Oud for Greatness is decent. Initio, right? Amazing. Yeah. Initio, I like to explore. Um, I wouldn't mind owning uh Musk Therapy, Sugar Blast, Mystic Experience, Narcotic Delight. You can't buy fragrance anymore because every brand has bumped up the prices. Hmm. Well, my very first Louis Vuitton fragrance that I originally bought was Pacific Chill. I had to save up for a while, couple of months. Once I had enough, I bought it. And then I ended up in a rock and a hard place. I'm not going to go into details. I sold it. But now everything is falling into place. And even now that I have a budget for fragrance, I don't buy every release that comes out. And I don't buy every clone or dupe or whatever, or even some of these luxury niche or designers. Lately, I just been saving money. And right now, the only there is a couple fragrances I wouldn't mind adding to my personal wardrobe, but I'm gonna wait for a little while because I am doing some other important things with my channel, some furniture, other equipment. Right now, that's more important. But that doesn't mean I can't talk about cologne. Hey, what's up, Dutch? So, with that being said, I can understand when prices get bumped up, and I'm certain they're gonna probably be even higher next year. Who knows? But, even what I noticed ever since I started my own little channel, even some of these Middle Eastern dupes and Latifers are starting to hit 60, $70. And honestly, it's not really worth spending 60, $70 on those either. I mean, 60, $70, I would rather buy a Mancera fragrance and get my money's worth. Yep. Clive Christian, Blonde Amber. That is a good one. I have a little decant of that. Better quality. And I would still, even even over the clone, I would still take Clive Christian. I live in Saudi on the top. Wow, you're lucky. You live in Saudi and Latafa here is not more than 30 bucks. Hey, enjoy. Out here, it's like $60, 60 some bucks for that new Latafa Kamra Waha. I'm not spending that. Yeah, they do. I couldn't agree more. But, I never really enjoyed the original Camera, so I already heard a few things about the new one, and I decided to pass on it. Decided not to buy it. I already have a couple of fragrances that have cucumber in it already, and they're not even remotely the same. And I don't need to add another one to my wardrobe with cucumber in it that it's like a fresher version of the original Camera. I didn't even enjoy the original Camera. I ended up outgrowing that scent. Now the original Angel Share by Killian, absolutely much better, smoother, not as synthetic. Yeah, the original Camera, I don't know. I ended up getting a headache from it. I gave it away, got rid of it, and then I ended up giving 20 more other budget-friendly fragrances away because I just don't wear them. Why buy a dupe if you're not gonna wear it, right? So I just kinda stopped wearing them, and, I like my taste, I like what I get my nose on, and, it's you know, I'm not gonna say every dupe is bad. I'm not gonna say don't buy it. If that's what you're into, by all means, buy what you like. Mi mi hmm, called Reef? Never heard of it. That's why I'm speaking to you in Arabic. Hmm, because material and sales just aren't there, so they have to balance revenue out somehow. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's another thing too. Also, even perfume oil prices are going up as well. There's a couple sites that I like to browse through where you could buy perfume oils, bases, raw materials, and all of that. And there's a few websites that I periodically check, and some of the prices are going up for certain perfume oils. For like your notes, your bases to make accords and things like that, even some of those prices are starting to go up. So it makes sense why some of these designers, high end or Middle Eastern or even mid-level designers are raising prices. Makes perfectly sense. So yeah, you gotta balance out the revenue somehow. So I agree with that. But there is other houses out there that I've came across, like Essential Harmony, that, I would consider some of her fragrances niche level for $50. That's a steal. Arabian Oud, Reef, and Gisa should be on your checklist for hmm, I never heard of them, but if I remember, I'll, check a couple out, see what they're like. Now, if I don't like anything by them, then I'll have to keep it real. Yeah, I actually purchased through Sloma Shop and bad experience, never again. The la It was the very first time, um, it took like 3 or 4 weeks just to get to me, which is ridiculous, and they have a eBay storefront called Le Perfect, and I bought a fragrance through there that was on sale, and it actually got delivered on time because through eBay, you know, they tend to ship faster on their eBay storefront. Where do I usually buy perfume? I usually go through Olfactory LLC, Max Aroma, sometimes beautylive.com and or a fragrance. I don't shop on Amazon. Um Sometimes eBay, there's a couple sellers that I will, buy authentic products from. Not too many, but some. And of course, Fragflex. I also order from them quite often. Um, but that's pretty much it. And you know, my overall checklist is huge. And right now, I'm going down the list that I have in front of me. Game of Spades Rouge, worth it? To be honest, sir, I never checked out any, uh, what is it, Joe Milano Game of Spades fragrances. I don't own any. I wouldn't be able to help you. However, I hear some of them are pretty decent. Like Game of Spades Full House, I hear is okay. I'm not, you know, I'm not really I'm not really on the verge of buying dupes right now. I'm just not crazy for them. Got a Fire? I hear it's pretty good. I never really got around to owning the original because I'm only buying what I really, really want. I'm looking to add another Zerjoff. I'm looking to get another Gallagher fragrance and probably a new designer fragrance. Other than that, I have, there's no dupes or clones on my radar. Yeah, some of them are good, but I have decants of the originals from like God of Fire and some of the others by Stephane Lambert, and it's better quality. And here's another reason why I don't like a lot of these clones and dupes. They make me sneeze too much. They give me headaches, and I don't get that with the originals. And you, sir, Slimy Return, I didn't really appreciate you posting your link on my channel. I didn't really like that because my channel is fragrances, and there's other ways to really do that. You could have just commented and say, "Hey, could you appreciate I would appreciate, like, you know, if you could check out a song for me," instead of posting the link there, you know? There's just better ways of doing things. And what did he say? Yeah, that's another reason why I don't go for all these dupes or clones. They make me sneeze. A lot of them give me headaches to where I can't enjoy it. That's why, I give them away. Now, what I do enjoy is some of these inspired twists that are off certain DNAs where it's really not a clone. I recently for CK Eternity EDP. They're pretty good. Now you're talking. Mind Games, French Defense, yes, that is a beautiful fragrance. Absolutely. I have that. That is a good one. And the only other Mind Games that I own sitting up there is Roy Lopez by Mind Games. That's another great fragrance as well. And, now those I'll get from Olfactory LLC because they have a really pretty good decent, discount where you can get 200 bucks off a real bottle. So you're saving 200 bucks and you're only spending a couple 100 bucks. You'd be a fool not to buy that. That's just my personal opinion. Uh Some of the others, what I would say budget friendly, Rasasi Hawas Verde was pretty decent. Rayhan Aquatica was pretty decent. I did buy those. I enjoyed those. Ahmed Al Maghribi Spectrum Chill. I enjoyed that one. Now, that is nowhere near close to the real Pacific Chill, but it's more of a twist off that DNA. Now, I like these twists that are off specific DNAs. Yeah. If you go to Olfactory LLC, Olfactory Factory LLC, they have some other mind games in there. I believe they have Check Please, the newest one, and you still get like I think 200 bucks off for 200 some bucks. Hey, what's up, JJ? Ooh, Nishane Edge today. Masterpiece of a blue frag. Nice. That sounds good. Definitely sounds good. So, I did talk about my personal fragrance. Is Creed worth the money? Um, I would say yes and no. Yes, if you wanna own one of the Ventus DNA, like the Creed Aventus, and do like comparisons of your own to all these Aventus dupes. But yeah, um, the only time I would really say buy a Creed fragrance if you're going to is wait until some of these discount sites have sales where you can get your money's worth. But if you're in the Creed and you really like Creed, by all means, do what you please. What's my current daily scent? Today I wore Mansera Aqua Wood. It's been a minute since I've worn that fragrance. I've had it for quite a bit of time. Highly underrated. Such a nice fragrance for the summer, especially when it's hot and humid out. It opens up with this nice pear, some citrus, you got some rose, some woods, and incense. And I don't consider it mature. It kind of does wear light, but it's really great for the summertime. And I felt like wearing that one today. and it was just on my mind, and I was like, "You know what? I feel like wearing Mancera Aqua Wood." Sometimes I see Costco and Sam's Club sell Creed fragrances for like 100 some bucks. And if you can get it cheaper than retail, jump on it. I would, you know. I like Creed. I don't like everything from Creed, but I like some of them. I like the ones that I currently own. I like Original Vetiver. I like, Royal Water. I enjoy Erofa, and, um, I enjoy Creed Aventus. And it took me a minute to get Creed Aventus, even though that DNA is completely played out, but I saw it at, Olfactory LLC on sale, and I pulled the trigger and bought it, I would say, a month ago. Yes, Virgin Island water is pretty good. I never really got around to that, but that's another one I will add some point in time. You got a 10 mil of Gentleman Jack, Michael Malone. I like it, but your wife says it smells like a girl. Gentleman Jack? Hmm. I don't know. You know, I've talked a lot with certain perfumers, mainly with like I would say Gallagher Fragrance. I talked to the perfumer and his wife through emails outside of content. And I will say this, and I do agree, if you can spray it, you can wear it. And I find fragrance to be genderless, honestly, but you got men out there who prefer masculine fragrance. I understand. But at the same time, I actually own a female fragrance perfume. And the funny thing is, it smells absolutely different on my skin. And it's because of my skin chemistry. It's the way my body oils react to it. And it don't like smell that feminine. I just happen to find fragrance genderless. Like, they really don't, they go both ways. I know women who prefer to wear men's cologne than their own stuff, you know? So, and that's that. And that's my personal opinion. And I'm liking this. Gallagher, Mists of Time. Boy, do you get a smoky birch here. And you got mineral notes. I'm a fan of mineral notes. This is nice. Beautiful fragrance. This would be great for like the fall time. Mm, Uh, well, keeping them, I would, you know, keep them in the basement away from heat and away from direct sunlight. Or, you know, if you got a basement, put them in the basement away from hot weather, hot or direct sunlight, because that will ruin your fragrances. And like you see my display case here, I keep all my fragrance away from direct sunlight and in a basement where it's always cold down here. And basements are usually cold by themselves. And I keep them in the dark. Now these lights here are LED, it's not really gonna do much to the juice inside the bottles, but direct sunlight can definitely ruin that. If you're keeping them in a bathroom, the temperature from the water can even, change the duration of how a fragrance can last. But I wouldn't keep them in your bedroom if it's extremely hot and humid and you don't have AC or a fan. Keep them in the basement where you will preserve the overall longevity and lifespan of your fragrance. I would never keep them in a bedroom, especially without AC and a fan. Oh, you only have a fan. Keep them in the basement if you have a basement. That is the best place to really keep cologne, in a basement. I have AC, but I don't even use my AC. It's not hot enough to use it. And the basement just stays cold all the time. And that's where I decide to keep my fragrance, is in the basement. Basements always stay cold. I don't know why, but they do. What is everyone's favorite summer freshie? Currently, my favorite freshie is what I wore today. Mancera Aqua Wood. It's been a minute since I've worn it, and I felt like wearing it today, and I could kind of still pick up the scent trail around me. So, and there's some other favorite fragrances I also have as well, like my own personal fragrance, my own scent I actually enjoy the most. That'll do it. Yeah. Um, I would never leave cologne in a card. And if you paid serious cash, that's money down the drain for no reason. Except around. s- Ah, yeah. See, there's just a lot of room down in my basement. Like, I have a bunch of stuff I gotta after my live stream, I have a bunch of stuff I gotta, go through, and there's some other shelves I have as well that I plan on going through, see what I can get rid of so I can expand and move some things over. But I have a pool table in my basement. I have like an entertainment system down here and stuff. So I figured this is kind of like my man cave. So I would rather keep my cologne down here. But as soon as I walk upstairs, phew, the temperature changes. So I wouldn't want to keep my stuff upstairs. But, this is my man cave and I want all the good shit down here. Do I have an Instagram? Yes, I do. See, Joma Shop is the only place I won't buy anything from. You know, the last time I bought something from them, it took too long to get here, and I was like, you know what? Fuck them. I won't buy from them again because they take too long to ship fragrance. That's why. You may be lucky, but I bought a fragrance from them. I think it was a Mancera. It was Intense Cedrat Boise that I wanted, and it took them 2 months to get to me. And I sent them an email and asked, like, "Why is it taking 2 months?" You know? Why? If you have it in stock, send it to the customer. Why sit around? I just don't trust them. I think they're shady. I just think they're absolutely shady. I think they pick and choose who they wanna get their cologne to, and then they just screw other people over. Well, New York is only 6 hours from me. I'm in Ohio, so New York isn't that far away, and it took 2 months, so I don't really, I got no love and respect for them. It's a simple saying that I learned from a couple of my biker friends. Those who want respect need to earn it. And I feel like Sloma Shop need to earn respect. You know, respect is earned and not given in my eyes. And sadly, you know, 2 months waiting for a cologne, I'll never order from them again. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I just, and sometimes, there is sometimes, you could I'm not saying they do this, but I've heard crazy things from a lot of people on Instagram where, you know, you can end up with a fake, and sometimes that can happen. I don't know. I know they sell watches and I know they sell clothes. Now, here's the funny thing. They have an eBay storefront and it's what called Le Perfect. Now, I ordered one other fragrance because it was on sale on their eBay storefront, and it actually got to me in 4 days. Now, versus their actual website, it just doesn't make any sense. I just don't get it. I don't. Their eBay storefront, I feel like, maybe eBay kinda makes sure people get their stuff, especially with their, like, big, like, online discounter stores and things like that, but on eBay, especially with certain, storefronts, I think they have a certain amount of time they gotta get their fragrance out, but then again, you also have some sellers on there that are selling, fakes. I see so many fakes on there, but, I can name a few authentic sellers on eBay that I have bought in from. That is, what? eDiscount Perfumes. There's a eBay seller on eBay that goes by the name, Olfactory Nose. He sells all authentic stuff. And you could get some pretty good decent prices on, Xerjoff, Vivamore, even Suspiro, and some Manceras or even high-end like Creed, Mind Games for below retail. Any suggestions for bond number 9? Haven't tried anything yet. Um, I don't really sell any of my personal stuff in my wardrobe. I I only own 1 Bond Number 9 fragrance. That's another house I would like to there's a couple other Bond Number 9s I wouldn't mind grabbing, but I haven't seen the ones that I want because some of the other online discount sites are currently out of stock, so I can't get them. And there is a one that would like to get, and it's called, I think, Nine's Island, and it's by a perfumer that I own a lot of his perfuming or his creations. Um, as you can see, probably the most fragrances I do own in my wardrobe is Zaharoff. I like Claude Dur's work, and he's done a couple Bond number nines. And there's one in particular that I would like to get, and I had a sample of it, and it performed really well, but it's out of stock, so I can't get it anywhere else. And Lafayette Street is another one I would like to get sometime, and there's a couple other ones as well, but they're not currently on my radar at the moment. And I could tell you what's currently on my radar that I will plan on getting eventually. You know, I want to um get another Gallagher fragrance, and I'm actually um I kind of want to get Mists of Time. This is actually really good. It's different. And talk about the dry down here. It's got patchouli and this smoky birch in it. Man, is this good. Yeah, I want Island because that's a scent profile I enjoy. You kinda got sick of it? Hmm. Yeah, I wanna get Bleecker Street, New Harlem, Lafayette Street, Ches Bond, um, I wanna get Island, there's another one. One of their newer releases, I think that came out this year or last year, one of those 2. But currently what's really on my radar right now, I eventually gonna add white iced cologne to my wardrobe, another Gallagher fragrance, and I'm gonna probably order I think Imma check out another Rasasi Hawass flanker. I wanna get that one exotic when it's available. That one I definitely would like to check out. Yeah, I would like to yeah. Island I want, Bleecker Street, Ches Bond, which is kinda like green Irish tweed in a way. So I would like to get that sometime. So there's quite a bit of Bond number nines, but I haven't really got around to them because there's only a few at the top of my list I had samples of, and I really like how they wear for me. I get compliments here and there. I really enjoy the scent profile, and I am really enjoying currently, I'm really enjoying Gallagher Ginfinity. That release that Daniel did, beautiful fragrance. So eventually I'm gonna add another Gallagher, and I'm leaning towards Ginfinity. I have a sample of it. I like it. Such a good one. A really good fragrance. And I eventually want to get white iced cologne. I did enjoy that one. And once if I do find another the other fragrance, if it's back in stock, Imma pull the trigger on that, but as of right now, I'm kinda on a buying freeze other than I did order Zaharoff, Gusto, Limone, and what is that? Vivamore, their newest release for 2026, their website, I ordered directly from them, $57. I couldn't pass that up. I enjoy Louis Vuitton. They actually have some decent ones, even though their prices are fucking crazy, but I like them. You know? Besides Imagination, I enjoy, Sunsong. It was re-released, reformulated, and it actually performs better than the original reformulation. I like Sur La Route, Orage. I love Ombre Nomad. That is a beautiful one. And I like Els. I have that one. That's getting a huge dent in it. And Imagination, yeah, that is just an easy dumb reach. You can easily land a compliment with that. It's basically, very refreshing, clean, expensive tea vibe, easy dumb reach. And you can wear it year round. And I don't really think they're overrated at all because not many people talk about some of their other fragrances because they don't give them a chance. Yeah, Cactus Garden. Speaking of Cactus Garden, I found a full bottle of that. What's his name on eBay? Olfactory Nose. He's got a full bottle and he's got the big boy, but it's, I think, like 3,000 some dollars for it. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not throwing money at that, but I like Sunsong. I like Sur La Route. Orage is a beautiful fragrance. I tend to wear Orage in the fall. Now, if it gets kinda, yeah, full bottle. Yeah, olfactory nose. If you it's somewhere around there. It's in the 4 digits. I seen it the other day. I think it was like, somewhere close to 3 grand. I think, 2,000 some dollars somewhere, maybe 2,500. But yeah, sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm not going to throw names out, but I feel like some of these other fragrance YouTubers might, you know, only talk about certain Louis Vuitton fragrances and they never explored or gave some of the other Louis fragrances a chance because I, when I used to go to Saks Fifth, they had a Louis Vuitton boutique by me. I was able to get my nose on some of their other ones, like, Al Hassad, that is phenomenal. Nuevo Monday, that's a beautiful one too. Sadly, I think, Al Hassad got, discontinued, and Nuevo Monday is still available. Meteor is another one. I feel like Meteor gets slept on all the time. Yes. Mirage is just I like the iris in that one, and it's kinda like after a thunderstorm with that fragrance. Kinda like almost like a mineral note, kinda get some mineral nuances in it. I like that. And Sur La Route is like the other favorite freshie of mine. That's another one that got discontinued. So it's like I can't really even get that one again. Yeah, I have Ombre Nomad. I love that one. That is a beautiful fragrance. And talk about performance, that one alone, I get over 10 hours when I wear it. You know, if you like leather and you like oud and a little bit of sweetness from, the raspberry. Now, here's the funny thing. The raspberry with the jamminess is giving off a rose floral nuance. And then you get a little bit of hint of vanilla in the dry down. It's a really good fragrance. And, that one is like, something I would wear in the fall and winter. What? Ombre Nomad, I respect, but I smelled it and it's still the next day, it definitely fits black people better. How so? When what's that got to do with anything? I don't think ombre I think ombre nomad is for anybody. And I don't know how that fits black people. That's kinda what's race got to do with cologne? I kinda, find that to be slightly, prejudice in a way. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna really kinda have that kinda talk on my channel because race has nothing to do with fragrance. And, I'm friends with a lot of black people who are in the motorcycle club culture and they watch my channel. So I would watch what you say. All right, well, I'm not going to have this politics stuff being mentioned on my channel. So keep your politics to yourself and that black people comment, keep it to yourself because I don't want to hear it because I'm not going to go down this road. Yeah, I agree, Sven. What the fuck? Because that's exactly how I'm feeling. So I'm making it racist. You're making it racist because you're the one who said that comment, not me. So if that's how it's going to be, adios. He had to go out. I'm not having that kind of shit here. You know what? Who was I was in what? My other buddy's YouTuber channel the other what? I think it was just what? I think last night or the day before. Grim G, my brother from another mother. I have a feeling that guy was probably an old um guy or a kid. I think that was Mob. And I don't know if you remember that guy, Mob, 16, 17-year-old kid who would like to just cause drama. But I had to get rid of that guy. He had to go. Bro, what is the sexiest fragrance ever? Woman to smell on man? And there's a couple. Uh, um, Probably the fragrance I don't really talk about. And I no longer have the full bottle because I went through it ever since I've had it. Kajal Icon. That one I find to be quite sexy. And I made the mistake of wearing that fragrance to work. And I've had, literally people mainly women, ask him, "What are you wearing? You smell delicious," and things like that. And, there you go, Black Panther. There's another one. But no, Kajal Icon, Lamar, uh, if you're in the Blue Day Chanel, YSLY, EDP, or Intense, or a Mancera, I think one of the only Manceras that I would find sexy would be like Explicit Vanilla, which is like a woody gourmand. But far as, let's say, a budget friendly, I would say, um, probably I would have to go with Offnon 9 PM Night Out, or even this one. I forgot it's sitting out, and it's not really that expensive anymore, but you won't get crazy longevity. I don't. Maybe you will on your skin and with your body oils, but L'Homme Le Parfum by YSL, that's another amazing designer fragrance nobody really talks about anymore. And I find this one you could wear year round, and it's pretty decent for the price. But this one is good. I've had this for a while. I think I've been about 7 hours on skin, unfortunately, but it's decent, pretty good. Ooh, Stronger with You leather and Lost Cherry. Eh, I don't have Stronger with You leather, but Lost Cherry, I'm not a fan of by Tom Ford. And the only cherry fragrance that I do enjoy, which isn't many, is Mind Games, French Defense, and Roy Lopez. But Stronger with You leather with Lost Cherry, I don't know. That's kind of, you know, I find it kind of intrigued, but hmm, leather and cherry. I don't know about those 2. I don't think those 2 would actually layer pretty well. I don't know. I guess the best way to say is, if you own those 2, give it a try and see what happens. 'Cause I don't own Stronger With You leather or, you know, or even Lost Cherry. But if you're looking to get something with cherry, Stronger With You powerfully. But I wouldn't be able to help you there. So, but anyways, I appreciate everybody who came out, but I'm at that time where I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Have I tried any House of Cosmo? No, I haven't, but I'll write that down and look into it. That sounds interesting. Oh, before I go and shut it down, have you ever checked anything out by what is it? Primera Kuwait Parfums? They got some fire stuff that I plan on checking out. Smoky Jazz, a fragrance called Maverick. Eventually I'm gonna get these. I Smoky Jazz is like something I something good. And that's another one I would like to get my nose on. And some of the other fragrances I do want to check out is you're in Egypt and the only essential oil is sold, so I need to take your opinion about the sexiest layerings. Oh, sexiest layerings. I've done a few layerings. Um, Let me see here. I just Spice Bomb, the original, Spice Bomb, the original, and Boss Bottled Absolute. That's sexy as hell. Louis Vuitton, Sun Song, and JPG, Paradise Garden, sexy as hell. Yeah, I want to check out Maverick by Primera Kuwait Parfums. It looks good. I would I want to get Smoky Jazz for sure. And there is another niche fragrance I plan on adding from Unique Luxury. I had a sample of Burrell, I think it's pronounced Beril, Burrell. Now there's a sexy fragrance right there. But sexiest layerings I find to be is Boss Bottled Absolute with Spice Bomb, the OG. Very beautiful. Uh I've done Seraph let's see here. Um I've done Boss Bottled Absolute and Grand Soir by MFK. And oh, here's one. Off non 9 p.m. with 9 a.m. That is a sexy layering too. If you like 9 p.m. by Off Non and ever got your nose on 9 a.m., those two together, that's like 10 out of 10 sexy layering. Those two go together. I've done that before. And usually the only time I wear Off Non 9 p.m. is with 9 a.m. What about Lamal Elixir Lewi Lady? Those 2 work. Yeah, I like Burrell. I plan on adding that one very soon. I had a sample of it. I've immediately got hooked, and, that's the only other niche fragrance I'm looking to add currently. And there's another, that's I think that's the only one I really like from Unique Luxury. Lamal Elixir. I can't really see La Huit de Leon Blue Elixir with Lamal Elixir. I don't doesn't work. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that one because, no one talks about it, but it's such a good one. I find it to be a hidden gem. It's good, really good. And that is gonna be my next niche fragrance that I pull the trigger on. Yes, I agree. Um, I'm looking to get that one pretty soon. Probably, I'd say in the next couple of weeks, that's gonna be my next, niche fragrance to grab, and Imma get another Gallagher. I'm probably gonna definitely go with Ginfinity because that is a good one. So, but, I appreciate everybody who came to my channel, and I'm just gonna go ahead and shut it down, and I got a bunch of stuff I gotta do over here, but Ven, JJ, everybody else, I appreciate y'all who came to hang out. I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday night. Stay safe, stay blessed, God bless, and remember, smell your best. Peace out.